Okay. Welcome. You got some drawings, I love it. So today, we are going to, we had Temple Square here today.
Yeah.
How was that? You enjoyed your time on Temple Square? S? Q, oops. Wait, square. Okay. Square. Was it fun? Yes or no? Y-E-S. Awesome. Okay. So today we did balloons, right, and rockets. Is that true?
No rockets. We did balloons.
And then mesmer?
Yeah, mesmer.
Mesmer. Okay. So you can learn about rockets today, or you can learn about the economy, or President Nelson. Rockets, economy, or President Nelson. D-R-E-S. Okay. President. Okay.
Yay! I've been wanting you to pick that one every day, Jojo.
So, President Nelson. I'm reading his book by Sherry Dew.
Is it so good? I want to read it.
I love it. I've been loving it. I was reading it on the plane to Hawaii, and I slept the way back, so I didn't read it then. But, so he has quite a life, and you might have heard some of this in conference talks, so some of this might repeat. But he was born, of course, in Utah, and his family came from a long line of members of the church, but his father and mother were not active. Not active. However, for some reason, his mom wanted him to go to church and stuff, so she encouraged that. So were his parents active? N and O. No, they are not active there. But his mom encouraged him to go to C. Good. Reach out. Come down one. Let's see. C, straight down. H, good. Come to the corner. Way out down there. U, then, a little higher. Oops. R, to top row. C, and straight down. H, that straight down. Not friendly right now, huh? Okay. So she encouraged him to go to church, and so he would do that often. And finally, with time, he became more interested in the gospel. What do you want me to write? Analyzing library. It's 0% analyzed yet. Okay. So there's this Cook here. This is Daniel Cook. Love it. Okay. So his mom encouraged him to go to church. Well, he started to believe, and he wanted to understand the church more. So he went to Desert as a child, and he started reading. He asked the lady there, "Hey, I want to learn about the church." So she took him by the hand and helped get him some books, helped him find some books that he could read to learn about the church. So where did he go to get the books about the church? One letter off. He went to D, good. E, come on down. Bend your wrist over to it. S, good, reach out. E, then R, up at the corner. E and T, yeah, desert book. So we have those here. I'm not sure if you have any in Arizona. A couple of countries do, yeah, our states,
Yeah,
like California does and stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. So he went to Desert Book, and the lady helped him find a book about it. He started reading, and by 16 years old, that's when he got baptized there. So the prophet was baptized at age 1 and 6. Yes, at age 16 he was baptized, and he wanted for Christmas for a while was just that his parents would be sealed, S-E-A-L-E-D, in the temple. His whole family could be sealed together, and he didn't get that till his parents were in their 80s. So he was like in his 50s or something like that when they finally got sealed. So all he wanted was for them to be S in the corner, E reach way over, lift your elbow, yep. A, oops, L, then in the corner, E, and you're not gonna touch it yet. Fine, sorry. Type E, and next letter, push it through. D, yeah. They wanted them to be sealed in the temple. So that was kind of his great desire. Can you imagine yourself having that being your desire? Reach out. Go ahead. Yes or no? Y-E-S. Yeah. Okay. So that was what he wanted more than anything, more than any Christmas presents, more than anything else there. You probably had some because you waited for some of your things that happened for you for a little bit of time, didn't you? So that might become something similar for you to have dealt with there. But, you want to say something? H, and then O, and W, how? Good. I-N-S. Okay. How? I-N-S. We'll see which letter it is. Keep going. I and then T. How is it? Go ahead. T, okay. E, N, oops, tens. It's okay. Let's go back here for a second. How is it? 1, 2, or 3? Okay. T. All right, 1, 2, or 3. 2. Okay, oh, do you want to change that or are we doing that? 2. How is it? T. And then we have to do O or R. Okay, will make sense. R. T-R. Y. Okay, then which one? So you got T-R-Y. You're changing your answer. 1, 2, or 3. How is it? Try 1. Okay, reach out to your letter that you need. H will make sense. For your situation, it'll be how is it? Try. So it has to be an ing. Why don't you try ing? I. Okay. N, and then reach out to it. G. How is it trying? T, and then T, trying T, and H, I, S. How is it trying this? Is that what you wanted? Yes or no? Yes, okay. How is it trying this? Go ahead. Reach out. F, and then reach out. Do what makes sense? O and R. How is it trying this for? Go ahead. A. Okay. Next. P. The 2 words are 1 word. Separate. Okay. All right. Reach out. P. Then oops. We got apple. A. P. Keep going. Then A. E. Which one do you want? So after the P, do you want the A or do you want the E? E. Okay. P, E, 2. With your eyes, move your eyes all the way around. R, and then 3. Move your eyes all the way around. S, purse, purse. O, and, careful, N. For a person, go ahead, reach out. L and I, then reach out. G and GP will make sense. L-I made sense. Next letter is 2. All right. A, and then 1, 2, or 3. 1. Gotta be E or I, but the context has to be I or E. I mean. Like. How is it trying this for a person like? Let's see if you can get it here. Like M and then E. This as in going to the temple or something else. T for temple, S for something else. Temple. You know, I don't know all the details. I know some people have gone through. So the big thing would be when you get older, you have to wait there. Now, you went to the new baptism, so you've already gone to the temple. But if you want to do it when you're older, you have to probably talk to some people. It's getting better, so by the time you reach the age to go to the temple, you'll have probably better resources there to help support you there. But, so you just have to kind of practice being able to be still for a while, I think, and then to follow some directions, but people can also help you as well through the process, because usually someone's there to help. So the biggest thing would be if you can handle yourself quietly in an environment for over an hour, and then you'd probably be fine to do it. And then just kind of stay there and then be willing to answer the questions there. And then you're fine. H, O, and W. L, I, and R, W. Oops. So if you ask this question right here, if you have some questions about it, I actually can ask the Church of Disability Specialist. I'll be talking to her on the 10th, so I'll go over my website with her. So if you do have questions, I can ask her some more about this and then get back to you too, if I can. Okay, so how I and S is I and O T. Looks like how is it? O H T. Okay. So how is it? Oh, did you want to change this word? So O T H. That wasn't what you're doing now. How is it? Is this what you want so far? 6 is yes, 8 is no. There's some incorrect words. Yes, I want how is it? No, I don't. Let's fix that. 6 is yes, I want how is it? 8 is no. There's incorrect words there. Reach out. No, okay. Do you want the word how? Do you want the word is? Let's fix that. No, okay. Okay, so how? 1 is it, 1 is A to I, 2 is J to R, 3 is S to Z. Okay, how? 1, C, all right. All right. O, how? C-O, oh, fix that. 3, U, then L, and then D. How could H, and then reach out, E. How could he F, and then F-A, F-E, F-I, what's that? I, F-I, N, D. How could he find Y, E, oops, yes, okay, how could he find Y, E, S, okay, go here, L, O, N, okay, L-O-N, N, G. How could he find long, E, then N, O, U, and G. The G comes. H, enough. How could he find long enough? Go ahead. C and L is fine. L, then reach out. O and T, then H, E, S, long enough close. T and, oops, I got T. T, slow down, slow down. T, then O, 2, you got it. 2, P, C, that's okay. 2, G, U, U. Do you want the GU? 6 is yes, 8 is no. No. Do you want the G? No. Okay. So, how could he find long enough close to P? Oh, so you have before not G. I said G. Okay, U. I apologize. P U and T. Put to put. O and listen. To put. Do the next part again. O then. N. To put on. Okay, put on, reach out. F, and then move your hand. I, and D, put on. F, and then reach over. O, and R, yeah. The way you're spelling that word fine, I could tell it wasn't what you wanted. And the context. Put on, 4, reach out. T, okay. H, and E. For the, reach out. T and then E and then M, tem, P, good. Next letter L and then reach out the B-E, temple. For the temple. Are you saying he as in President Nelson or are you talking about he as in reference to yourself? So M for myself or P for President Nelson? Go ahead. Myself. Well, you put on your suit already, so I think you already have long enough clothes for that. And then other clothes that you wear in the temple, you go buy at Desert Book, or the church distribution actually, but it's usually connected as Desert Book. Sometimes at the temple itself. So that'll be taken care of when you get there.
He's worn the baptismal suit
for
yes. Baptism.
So you got that. It'll be different, but it's the different clothes up there, but same idea.
Yeah, it's like a white suit instead of a blue one.
Yeah. So I think that so it's the same kind of idea. So I think your clothing right now, if you keep the way you're going, you're prepared for the temple that way. That's exciting. You made that step. So you're prepared in that regard. Have other questions on this? Yes. And go ahead. No? Okay. Okay. So no. All right. So back to President Nelson. So President Nelson, he then ended up he got married. He didn't go on a mission, I believe, because of World War II, or it was just because his family wasn't encouraging it. I think it was World War II. I can't remember much detail. But he ended up having to do part of the Korean War. He worked in that and went there. But before that, he ended up going to the University of Utah, and there he started doing some of his pre-medical stuff. He got married to D-A-N-T-Z-E-L, Danzel White, and they ended up having 10 children, 9 girls and finally a boy. So, how many kids? Oops, careful, 1 ended that way, 0, good. So they had 10 kids. So his wife had a dream about the boy long before they had the boy. So they're always thinking, okay, this is the boy. Nope, another girl.
Mhm.
All right, this is the boy. So they knew their family wouldn't be complete until they had a boy. So that kept her going till she was like 46, I think, when she had the boy. So they wouldn't have continued, or potentially wouldn't have, until they had that boy. So that's when they knew their family was complete. So she had a vision of the B, reach out. O, and down the bottom Y, yeah. And she had dreams and visions, I think both of them, even, but particularly her, until she finally had him. So she had it periodically, she'd see this boy. And so when she had him, she's like, ah, that's the boy I was dreaming about. So that's kind of cool how sometimes that can happen to moms and dads, that they can see their children or have impressions about that before they even have the child. So that happened, and in the meantime, he was going into different things with surgery in the heart. And at the time, they believed that if you touched, T-O-U-C-H-E-D, touched the heart, it would stop beating and you kill the person. So they believed you should not do what to a heart? You should not. T. Good. Reach up one. O. To the corner. One down. T-O. U. Then reach up to the top. Very top. Oops, almost there. Yeah, no, you want that Q. Spell top, yeah. C and H, yeah. You should not touch the heart. So he wondered about this. And there was some kind of research being done, but he went in there and he took a dog, and I guess he stopped the heart as something, and he actually held the little heart in his hand that kept on beating, and he went, oh, not true, you can touch a heart and it keeps on beating. So what's one of the first things that President Nelson discovered in the medical world? Go ahead. H, E, reach out up to the top. A, fix that. R, and then T, then S, hearts, E, oops, that would be D, O, N, T, don't, S, good, T, you got that, okay, you're doing T better, O, and U, B, O, and then P like that, O, and P, don't stop, yeah, don't stop if you touch them, right, so hearts, don't stop. So he he moved his family to the University of Minnesota, and he worked long hours, and they had very little money, hardly any money to get by. So they had a number of girls by then, and he went to Minnesota, and they got a research grant to develop a heart and lung machine, so that they could start doing operations on the heart, see if they could make it so that the machine could pump the blood to the system, so they could operate on the heart and keep the lungs going. So they had to actually make the parts to the machine, and they started testing it with dogs. So to see if they could get the dogs to do surgery on dogs with the heart-lung machine, and then if the dog survived, then they knew it was working. So they tested. Who were their subjects? One letter off. Oops, almost there. D. D. O, reach out. G and S. And they tested dogs. Well, at first it was working, and then he's like, the surgeries would work, but then the dog would die. And they're like, what happened? So he figured out there's some kind of bacteria that was going on while his professor was gone. He was working on it. He figured out there's some bacteria, that you had to take care of some sanitizing other parts too, not just the machine itself. And once they did that, the dog started to live. So, did he figure out the problem? Reach out. Y, E, and S. Yeah, he figured out the problem, and some of the professors there did not like that he was a member of the church. So they would make it hard on him, but it ended up that they gave him extra kind of work and stuff, but that actually made him a better surgeon. So some of their meanness actually paid off, and others were really respectful of him and saw his talents. Well, then they ended up being able to work on an actual patient with the heart-lung machine, and the patient survived, so that was really exciting. And then the university went to Korea. There in Korea, in the war, he was in the medical team. He was able to figure out some discoveries there. And so people in Boston really liked his work. He thought it was amazing, so they invited him there. So before he even got his first PhD, he went there and got some more information with some of the leading experts, and was able to kind of get a double PhD and share that with people. So where else did he go? B, good, almost there. O, Ston, S, ton, T, oops, O, yeah. O and then N, good. So in Boston, he was able to find some things too. So he is able to perform some of the first open heart surgeries, and he was able to, ended up working, the University of Utah hired him as an assistant professor, and there are some people who were disliking him as well that made his life hard, but ended up helping in addition. So he was there, and people gave him, there was more money given to help him develop further a bigger and better machine, heart and lung machine. So he was able to figure that out. Since his wife was breastfeeding, and then with bottles, they're able to do something else to make get rid of some of the bubbles in it by using one of the tops of the bottle. They figured out some things that way. So his wife was quite supportive, and they improved it from there. Any comments, questions so far? Oh, awesome. So he got really good at it. People that he performed a number of life-saving surgeries. And at one point, there was a family that had some children that had the same heart defect. The first one died before they met President Nelson, and then there was 2 daughters. Then they weren't twins, so it was one after another. Both of them died, and he went home devastated. And he cried and cried all night long. And then finally his wife said to him after listening to him, "All right, are you done crying now? It's time for you to go back to work. If you don't go, then people will repeat the mistakes that you've already learned." So she told him, W and O, R, and then reach out all the way over to it. You got that? Okay, good. So she told him, go back to work. She was really supportive and understood his feelings, but recognized that if he stopped, there'd be more devastation. He could keep on learning because he was seeking out revelation and inspiration. So he ended up being a doctor that operated on President Kimball. That was one of the prophets a while back. And the Lord inspired him on how to do this because it seemed impossible and unwise to do this surgery, but he got inspiration for it. He got inspiration to how to perform, there's a valve that has it's called a tricuspid, has 3 little parts, and he had to cinch one of them together. He got inspiration right when he was doing the surgery to put it together. And the person was the state president in southern Utah, and it seemed really unwise to do, but he's told President Nelson that he was confident that he was inspired to come to him and he could fix it. So he fixed the tricuspids without T, R, I, C, okay, that's right, U, okay, S, bid, bus sound, B, I, and good. D, the Lord showed him in a vision how to sew it together. Step by step, he could see it in his head right when he started working on it. So he actually opened the heart out to work on him, having no clue how to fix the heart, just trusting that the Lord would Then another experience was a lady in California. She was pregnant with twins and had some kind of a cancer, and they told her, you need to abort the twins because it's going to kill them, whatever they need to do, kill you. So, what do they want her to do to the babies? Go ahead, oops, fix that. B, A, then B, then reach over. O, and R, then one down. T, yeah. But she said, no, I have twins for a reason. I need to keep them. So finally, there's some connection to President Nelson somehow. And he got a hold of the story. As they asked him, can you review the case? And he did. And he ended up bringing her, and he was able to perform, it was not cancer, it was something with her heart and lungs. It was cancer in her lungs, in the mass. So they had to deal with the heart in order to go to the lungs. So he actually, because there weren't clamps enough to hold certain valves shut, he actually had to hold it with his finger and stitch. Otherwise, everyone would die. So he said, 3 lives held were under my finger. So he had to hold it there, stitched it. The girls were born, the mom is fine. One of them actually is the current BYU volleyball coach, one of the girls that he saved. Or I guess that was twins there. Then the other's a mom. Go ahead, M-O-M, mom, yeah. It's kind of cool, huh? I-D-N-O, go ahead. I-N-G, I doing N-O, all right. H, and then E, I doing no, H-E-A, R, and S-T, heart. I doing no heart, 1 second. I'm doing no heart, or I'm not doing any heart. What? S, and then reach out. U, R, and G, better. G, good. Me neither. E and R, then Y, yeah. It took a lot of purity in his life and obedience in order for him to be able to do all that. And everyone has different missions they're sent to perform. That was one of his. So he actually went on vacation one time, had inspiration to go home early, and he ended up saving a general authority's life because that right then he'd had some heart problems and needed him there. Otherwise, his name was Paul Dunn. He would have died. So he learned how to receive revelation. At one point, he was also a stake president. Then he was the president of the Sunday school while he was being this busy heart surgeon. And not only that, he was a really good dad. His family said when he was at work, he was at work. When he was at home, he was home. So he didn't bring the baggage home, and he was there all he could for his children, teaching them, reading them, and doing those things. So he was also a really good, one letter off. D, good, reach out. A, and in the top, D, yeah. He was a really good dad too, despite his busy schedule. And then, actually I should tell you, when he was performing President Kimball's heart surgery, he had the impression that President Kimball would become the prophet, which seemed really unlikely because his health was so bad. And the 2 prophets that were the current one and the one that would have been before him were very healthy, it seemed. And it surprised him that the world, or church, when Harold Lee died really fast and President Kimball became the prophet. And President Nelson shared that with President Kimball, but they kept it between the 2 of themselves, that was his impression. But so he was great friends with President Kimball and kind of counted him as a second father. So he was like a S, reach out high, E, C, reach out, O, a little higher, N and top row, D, second, F, A, reach over to it, T, lift up in the center, H first, H in the corner, I and R, the R, okay. And it was like a second father to him. Lots of miracles that he experienced and learned from because of his willingness to be humble and do Heavenly Father's work. And he even included, he said, I'll give my profession if they needed me to fulfill my calling in church. And so, but he's able to do both and be a father, a good father. Well, he ended up, his wife, they had 10 children, and his wife and him were married for 60 years before she died. And she just died when they were switching between BYU Utah basketball games. There's one on Saturday that they're actually home. Decided to stay home instead of go. And she died, and he couldn't get a hold of any family there. So could he get a hold of his family at first? Yes or no? Oops, that's okay. Start with N. N and, oh no. They were somewhere in Asia, somewhere on the way to Africa on a plane. I think they were on 5 different continents, his 10 children. So he couldn't get a hold, so he was crying and in great pain, and he got the impression. I took her because I loved her. I thought you could handle it, my boy. So, because she died of a heart problem, actually. So she was getting dementia, I think, so she would have to go through that pain. Heavenly Father let her die, and then he trusted that he would be faithful no matter what. Think you can handle that? And oh, he had more experience than you with that. He was in his 80s. So then he married a second wife, and that was kind of a cool story too. Do you want to hear it, or do you want to do some wrap up with a quick communication? Yes, I want to hear it. No, I want to do some wrap up. Yes, okay. So his current wife Her name is Wendy Watts, and then Nelson, of course.
We went and saw her, Jojo. Remember at the
Oh.
Cardinal Stadium? They came and talked to us, and we listened to Wendy and President Nelson.
Cool, you got to talk to them and visit them?
No,
Oh.
they
Oh,
just
they
came to
talked
like
to
the
you guys.
big
Okay, yes,
stadium,
the
and
big
we went
stadium, yes,
to
okay.
yeah.
Sorry, talk to us, not as a broad. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, so you went there and you got to see them. So he met her because when Sister Sherry Dew was in the General Way Society, she ended up meeting up with Wendy, who was a professor at BYU in the family department there. So, what was her job at BYU? Look right here. P. R. Reach over. O first. O. Now professor. F. Good up in the corner. E. Then S. S. Good. O. And come down. R. Yes. She was a professor. And she was a marriage and family. She'd been engaged 3 times and had the impression to break off the engagements. So she never got married, but she counseled people's marriage for over 30 years. And was a professor at 25 years at BYU. So she was friends with Sherry Dew, and they went on a trip. And one day they were with her sister, Wendy's sister Kathy, and also the second wife of, because his first husband died, President Elder Perry. He died too. He was one of the members of the Quorum of the 12. So those 4 were together. And Wendy woke up one morning and said to Kathy, "I feel like there's a huge change coming. You can write that down. Some big change is coming." So she knew there was a what coming? C, H in the corner, A, good, one letter off, get the N better, N, then reach over, G and E. And she knew there was a big change coming. So she said, "You can write that down." And then she had this song in her head from the hymn book. She's like, "What song is this?" And her sister Kathy said, "Oh, that's the song that President Elder Nelson wrote." So again, and then the connection, but she's like, "Oh, well, I don't know that, but I know the song." So she had a song from who? P. R. Reach up in the corner. E. S. I. D. D. Good. E. E. N. And T is okay. President. And first. And right here. N up in the corner. E. Okay. L, find S, then O first. O, and then last letter with the I in there, okay, and President Nelson in her head. And then she talked to, that same day or so, talked to Elder Perry's second wife there, and she didn't think anything of it, even though soon she became a second wife to a member of the Quorum of the 12. And then her and Sister Dew split ways with the 2 others, and they went to Florence. And they heard, hey, President Nelson and this other general authority that Sherry Dew knew is going to be dedicating the first stake in Rome. So it was a big historic event. So they heard there was going to be a dedication in R, or not, O, or this organization. M, then up top, E, good, in Rome there. So maybe we should go get it. Like, no, it's kind of, we're cutting it close. Let's just, we'll just stay here. Well, they got kind of tired in Florence, and they ended up at a train station to see if they could go somewhere else. And that was a pretty important place to be because there was a sister missionary that was returning home that was going to, that yelled, "Hey, Sister Dew," she recognized her. And she said, "Can I help you?" And they found out this missionary was going to go to that organization of the first stake in Rome. So it was return, what? M, oops, I. I, then S, and again, 2 S's. S, then reach up. I, then reach over. You're into it, huh? O, then N, go reach up. All the way there. Over to A and R, then 1 off. Y. Yes, it was return missionary. And so they did that. And so as they were coming back, then so the return missionary was there, so I can what can I help you? And Sister Du said, hey, you know, I know I'm good friends with that elder who's going to be reorganizing it, I think. Can you give him a note? Take it to the stand and give him a note. And she said, sure. And then she decided, you know, I really should write a note to President Nelson too, just to be polite. So why was she going to write him a note? To be P, then reach out. O, then L, and I, then went over. T up in the corner. E. Yeah, she's just going to be polite to him. And so she started, so the Wendy had gone off to find a place in the train station and came back. And as Sherry was writing a note to President Nelson, she told Wendy what she was doing. And Wendy said, oh, sign my name too. So Sherry Du wrote Sherry Du Wendy Watson on the note. And they didn't know if the note was going to get to President Nelson, but it did. And this was an important part because President Nelson had asked his secretary to get him some books from Deseret Book so he could read them on the plane. And one of them was by Wendy Watson. And so when he got the note from the girl sister, her name jumped at him, and he had an impression that he went to the temple when he got home and had it confirmed that when you're ready, you need to find this woman. So where did he finalize the impression? Or I guess figure out what it was. T-E-M first. T-E, reach over. Yeah. M, then reach out. P, L, and almost there. E. And so he followed the impression when he was ready, and he ended up marrying Wendy Watson. And she, by then, had learned to better understand the revelation, so she was also able to be confident. So the first years of marriage were challenged because there was a big, huge change, but we're also good. So they're happily married, and he was one time writing a note to her on the plane with tears streaming down his face, and the person next to him was like, what's wrong? He's like, I'm writing a note to my sweetheart. So he really cares about her, just like his damsel. H-E, he, I, S, he is, A, and W, then reach up, E, then aw, S, good, O, and good, M, and E, he is awesome. Yeah, he is, isn't he? So, he's awesome guy. So that's a little brief history of President Nelson. Okay, what other thoughts on him? What have you noticed? H, or C? H, E, he, C, and A, R, and then E, S, he cares, reach out, A, B, O, and, go ahead, U, then T, about, S, E, 1 second, he cares about, okay, let's say the next word again, W-I, oops, he cares about T and H, E, he cares about the I, D, and I, okay. He cares about the M. Go ahead. Then A. Okay, after A comes N and Y. He cares about the mini R, H. It's okay, no big deal. So we have two options of how we can get it out. M, and then, all right, O, M, and then, last letter, cares about the mini moms. He does. He is quite, I'm going to stop this because it's just got down there. He cares a lot about women. He's a great champion of women. So he's going to yell at us, that's why. The mini moms. He actually said that he wanted to be a heart surgeon because he couldn't be a mom.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
that was what he wanted to do second to it. H, E, he, I, S is M and Y. He is my, F, A, good. V and, it's okay, you forgot a letter. You gotta do the O probably. O then, R and, I, T then, E. He is my favorite. He is my favorite. Go ahead. P, R, E, O, then P and H, E, T. He is my favorite prophet. He's quite a great one. I like him a lot too. Okay, anything else you want to say about him? Yes, all right. H, E, he, D, I, oops, it's okay. D, I, okay, it's fine. D, he did. N, O, T. He did not. Go ahead. C, O, that's okay. O, K. I don't think you wanted to do cook. Maybe. You can, if you want. Let's just see. He did not, what? Go ahead. C. Oops, L. Okay, C, L. That's fine. Do you want L or O? Either one's fine. L. He did not see L. O. And what accept? 1, 2, or 3. Accept. It's 4. He did not see L-O. Move over. There you go. And S. Then E. He did not close T and H, then E, the, D, O and O, got it, it's okay. Doesn't make sense. Door, he did not close the door. Go ahead. O and N on M, Y, on my. Go ahead. C, O, oops. On my. Go ahead. B, B then. L and E then. B-L-E. And then S. My bless. Going. I, N and G, then S. Did not close the door on my blessings. Yeah, he's further the work a lot since he's become the prophet. Okay, our time is up sadly, but I will gladly, next session we'll do a little bit more of your open thoughts since this one was a lot more skill work. So we can talk more about the prophet and how you feel about it, because I can tell you have lots of thoughts and other things that you have next session, along with some other learning. Okay.
Awesome, honey.
What I really like today